Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. How is everyone today? I hope I find you all well, and I welcome you all to my first gameplay stream for the day. Yes, my friends, welcome to the stream. I hope you're all in a good mood. I hope you're all ready for some fun and some good progress today, because after many streams of Nier Replicant over the last several weeks, today is a culmination day. Because today we are actually going to get to a end-game scenario where we get to see one of the new alternate endings of the game that apparently changes the entire plot of the game, and basically makes it tie into Nier Automata, which is actually what we've been waiting for all along, really. And then after that, we're actually going to see some alternate stuff, because there is a whole new run, apparently, that you begin right after that. Which is pretty cool. By the way, I'm seeing more pre-stream artwork that I want to remove. Hold on a second here. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can get rid of it now while I'm looking at it. Let me see here. Let's see. Aha! Rid of this. Get rid of... the fuck? Get rid of this. This. Okay, working on it here. Working on it. It's a work in progress, everyone. I'm basically trying to weed out all of the artwork that references Twitch at this point, and it's a like I said, it's a work in progress. Every day I notice another one that says Twitch on it. I'm like, oh, gotta get that one out. Gotta get that one out. So, I'll continue to do that. And by the way, we got some new artwork that keeps being added. I want to say shout out to the person who's making it, although they haven't asked yet for a plug or anything on the stream. We got a couple new pre-stream slides that have been added to the mix, if you guys haven't noticed yet. And of course, we have some of these that used to say Darkside Phil on Twitch, and now they say Darkside Phil on YouTube stream, which is really nice. So good stuff. Thank you to everyone who's been, helping out with everything here around here and getting used to streaming on YouTube. It's definitely an adjustment, but we're working on it. As of yesterday, I now have it that if you become a member of the channel, which is what used to be a sub on Twitch, it's called a member here, or if you do a super chat, which again is the equivalent of what used to be cheering on Twitch, but they call it a super chat here, you now get a pop-up message on the screen to say thank you, okay? Now, the pop-up message appears to be delayed by a good 30 seconds. And I don't know why, because I set it up to basically pop up live, but it doesn't. It's about 30 seconds delayed. So I'm actually shouting these out before they actually apply. Like, I'm shouting out, oh, thanks, and then I give the shout-out message, and then 30 seconds later, then a pop-up appears on the screen. And it doesn't look like there's anything I can do about that. Like, I looked into it last night, and there's no artificial delay or anything in the setup. It looks like YouTube actually is just, it's delayed with its API. If you don't know what that means, every website has a speed by which it sends out data, okay? YouTube apparently is delayed. And the thing is, I used to have some dealings with this many years ago. If you guys remember, before I ever streamed full-time on Twitch, I actually streamed on YouTube for about 2 years between the years of 2014 to 2016. And when I did, when I was streaming on YouTube, I actually had the stream itself get integrated into my website. So you didn't have to go to YouTube to watch my streams. You could just go to my website, and on my website was an integrated chat that I monitored and ran, plus the stream. And that's what people used to watch my streams for about 2 years. It was an integrated chat along with the stream embedded in my website. Well, basically, that's right, application programming interface. Thank you, master programmer. I didn't want to break it down, but he did. Basically, the YouTube API is very slow. Like, I would turn on my stream, and sometimes it would take upwards of 5 minutes for it to show up on my website, which makes no sense. The stream's live. Why doesn't it just go right to the website? Because the YouTube API is slow as shit. So, I'm not surprised people do a contribution on YouTube, and it takes them over 30 seconds to send out the data to say that someone did it, you know? It is what it is, but This is pretty cool. New pre-stream artwork, new pop-up thank you messages for any kind of contribution. So now if you tip, you become a member of the channel, or you do a super chat of either kind, by the way. That includes regular super chats and also super stickers, okay? All those things are included. You'll get a shout-out live on the stream, and you'll get a pop-up on the screen. So that's cool. We're working through the bugs of adapting and switching over to YouTube streaming, okay? Now, I have a big announcement today. I talked about it on Twitter last night, but I want to make it official this morning because this is pretty big. The new Retro Replay playthrough event has been determined. You guys have been nominating games for like 3 weeks, then you voted on games for over a week. Ladies and gentlemen, the game that has won is Fallout New Vegas. If you want to know the truth, I am not shocked at all that Fallout New Vegas won, because Fallout New Vegas is a game that has so many different ways to play. Seriously. You can play a melee build. You could do all guns. You could do stealth. You could do stupid. You could be smart. You could have high luck, low luck. There's so many different factions, right? You could go work for Mr. House. You can work for, I forget the sides of the two factions. I know the one's the Republic or something. But there's these different groups you could work for. You could kill them all in one run and team up with them in the other, right? The side content is outstanding. There's so much side content in the game, and the DLCs are really good, okay? In addition to all of that, even though the game is incredibly old at this point, it's over 10 years old. I think it came out in 2010. I am able to play it on Xbox One. I just got to get it digitally, and I'm almost positive that I have it digitally. I might not, but I'm pretty sure I do. So I might just be able to just re-download it. I have the rights to all the DLCs digitally on Xbox Live anyway. So all I need to do is basically get the core game and install it on my Xbox One, and we are good to go for this playthrough, okay? Now, the last time around that I played it was in preparation of the release of Fallout 4. For those who don't remember, Fallout 4 came out in, what was it, 2015, I believe? So that was a long time ago. We're talking over around 6 years ago, okay? In that run, I think I played it as hardcore mode, and I believe that what that mode required was that you constantly had food and drink, because if you didn't, then your character would like start to die. But I remember there was no real issue. It didn't really affect the game at all. Like, I don't think it made the game any harder, just a little bit maybe more tedious, but it didn't make it significantly more challenging for me. So I don't know how we want to play it this time around. But what I'm thinking is I want to do something different. Something different. Now, how? Because I'm pretty sure I played the game melee build before, which was incredibly fun, but if I've already done it, then maybe we don't want to do that, right? Some people have suggested go, like, incredibly stupid, like 1 IQ, but then put all the stats into luck. Some people have suggested many different things on Twitter last night. So what I would like to do is get your opinions, guys. All right? We got today, we got tomorrow, and we got Monday. So we've got 3 days left of streaming before the playthrough begins. Okay? So let's think about it. Let's brainstorm some ideas together here on the streams and decide what I should do about this playthrough to make it a little bit more unique. Okay? And then on Tuesday, that's when the playthrough will begin. Okay? It's going to be a marathon this coming Tuesday. 7+ hours of Fallout New Vegas to get a good start into the playthrough. Alright, now Fallout New Vegas is an incredibly long game, especially if you do all the side content and everything. Plus, if you do all the DLCs, it like almost doubles the length of the game. So this is going to be an ongoing playthrough that's going to take quite a while, but I'm okay with that. We're in no major rush to get through Fallout New Vegas, okay? So it should be a good time. I hope that you guys will join me starting on Tuesday. And continuing on, after that, it'll become a major playthrough that will mix in with all my other playthroughs during the course of the week. Okay? No, I'm not playing on PC. I'm playing on Xbox One. I literally just said that. Why you would ask that question when I just said that, I have no idea. Okay. No, Fallout 76, no, I did not play it. What happened was that next year after it came out, it was free for everyone during E3 week. I tried it with a few people who actually had bought it, and it was one of the worst things I've ever played, and I never played it again. It was abysmally bad. Ridiculous. By the way, look at this new fan art. Fan art for the Fallout New Vegas playthrough already. That's pretty damn cool. I announced it last night. Someone already whipped together cool fan art for it. Very nice. You guys, good morning, Simple Bubble. How are you? Okay. No, oh, all right, people are trolling now. I'm not even going to answer that. Okay. So, this week should be a very interesting week because this week coming up, we're going to be wrapping up certain playthroughs. In fact, I'm thinking we may even finish 2 games this coming week if things go according to plan. And then we've got the beginning of this new retro replay playthrough, and in June we're definitely going to have new releases, high-profile new releases coming out. Plus all the game news coming out this month, right? Because there's going to be a ton of it. We're going to have Summer Games Fest. We're going to have E3. There's going to be a lot going on in June. It's going to be a very exciting month for us gamers. So, good stuff coming up. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we get into the schedule, get it out of the way? I want to talk a little bit about some other stuff. So, we had a ton of game events that happened in the last 24 hours. And I'd like to talk about that on the pre-stream today. But first, let's talk about what we're actually doing in the next week. Okay? Okay. Today, Nier Replicant end game content. All right? What are we doing today? We are wrapping up a run. We were turboing through the game last time around. Sadly, I didn't get to the end. Because remember, we had beaten the Devilo Popola boss, and then there was Emil's Text Adventures started playing. I'm like, dude, there's no way. I have 5 minutes left on the stream. How am I going to do this? There's no way I could do it. So, today we do have to go back through the Shadow Lord's Castle again. Should take about 20 minutes. After that, we're going to read the new stuff from Emil's story. Then we're going to take on the end of the game. Apparently, there's supposed to be a new final boss, and I have to make a critical choice. Now, I don't know what the choice is. People have suggested that I go for the D side run instead of the C, because apparently the way the game works, if you do the C side run, the game just ends. Okay? Then I would have to reload the game and go through the entire Shadow Lord's Castle again, another 20-30 minutes, to do the D side run. Then once you do the D side run, the game actually deletes your game file save, but you start over, and after playing for about an hour or two, then you get into new content. That's about 3 hours of brand new content that was made just for this version of Nier Replicant. And it basically is apparently really good and ties you into Automata and everything. Okay? So that's obviously what I want to see. But I don't want to do the Shadow Lord's Castle twice in one sitting. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get through the castle. And then we're going to do the D run first. Okay? We're going to do the D run first. And then, once you do the D run, it resets the game. We start over from the E run side. We do the E run. And then, once that's done, then it'll reload the game and we can go back and do the C run. Alright? Which is going back to Shadow Lord's Castle again. So, we're definitely not going to finish everything today. It's not possible. After doing the D ending and then starting up the E run, there's no way we're going to finish. Essentially, what it'll be is today will be one session and we'll do one more session of Nier Replicant. And that should be the big conclusion, okay? Lambo is asking, how do I donate? There's a million ways to donate, all right? You check the description of the video. There's a way that you can join as a member of the channel. There's a way that you can tip me. There's also super chats that are integrated into the stream. All these are readily available right in front of you. Thank you in advance for any contribution. Okay. So, people are saying refresh the stream. Yeah, I don't know what happened. The stream's working fine for me. If the stream screwed up, it sounds to me like YouTube screwed up again. This happened last night too. But nothing happened with my internet or nothing. Everything's fine on my end. Okay? This is excellent condition and everything on my end. Hello, Stealthy Kupo. Good morning. Good to see you. Okay. So, a major stream of Nier Replicant today. We're finally going to see the alternate endings starting today. 2 big streams of Nier Replicant where we get to see all the alternate ending content and how it ties into Nier Automata, finally. So this will be fun. I hope you guys will join me and enjoy this. Should be a good time for those of us who are fans of the series. Finally going to get some answers. Okay? Then tonight, it is my weekly throwback session of Street Fighter fun. Hello, Eternal Napalm. How are you today? Good to see you. That is at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. 2 hours of old school Street Fighter combat. I love doing this once a week. It goes back to my roots when I used to be a competitive fighting game player. It's always a good time. Hope to see you for tonight, okay? Good stuff. Then tomorrow, we are swinging back to Returnal, alright? I thought I was going to be done with Returnal after I beat the 6th biome, which is the final biome of the game. Nope. The credits rolled, I saw an ending that made no sense, and then the game restarted. So apparently the game intends for you to play it one more time, this time around having all the abilities in the game, being able to go underwater, being able to walk through hazards, getting all the upgrades and items, okay? And apparently there's a sun key hidden in each stage. Now, I'm going to guess, now this is me venturing a guess, I could be completely wrong. I'm going to guess that the sun key is inside of those challenge rooms that have the suns on them. Remember, there's a challenge room in each world that's incredibly tough, and if you beat it, you get some rewards. I'm going to guess the reason there's a sun above the room is because that's probably where they've hidden the sun keys for these stages, right? So you probably got to go through and beat the sun room, the challenge room in every single world, all 6. And then apparently once you get a sun key, you permanently have it. It doesn't reset it or anything when you restart the game. So I'm going to have to go through these 6 worlds getting all the sun keys. So we'll see what happens, but we'll see what progress we can make tomorrow. Do I really think I'm going through all 6 worlds and getting all 6 sun keys? No. No. I don't think so. Can I make some progress tomorrow? Likely, yes. Likely we'll probably at least get 2 or 3 of them, I would think. So we'll see how that goes. Okay? Tomorrow night, the late stream is the continuation of Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Last night actually, we played it, and I actually finished Novaria, which I wasn't expecting to do. I kind of turboed through it. We do have a side mission or 2 left there that I'll probably do before we leave, and then it's Vermeer. So we'll go do the Vermeer content and continue on with the game tomorrow night. Okay? Okay. Then, I'm off on Sunday. Sunday is my day off from streaming this week. So I hope you guys will have a good Sunday. When I return on Monday, it will be the continuation of Nier Replicant and conclusion of Nier Replicant, as I will be finishing up the East Side run and going back to do the Seaside finish, and that's it. Now, if I end up finishing that early on that stream, then we could just switch over and do something else. I'm thinking just do a little bit of Call of Duty or something, you know, something that's not a narrative playthrough, no risk of anyone missing it and saying, oh no, I missed a part of a major playthrough. It's probably what we'll do, but it may very well take the whole stream. And then Monday night will be my weekly Danganronpa V3 stream. We'll actually be starting Chapter 4 now. We actually have the 3rd class trial concluded, and we're going to see how the game continues in Chapter 4. If you remember, there was a big cliffhanger ending last time around where we found out one of the students is actually sick and coughing up blood, which is not good. Probably means that they are slowly dying. So, that'll be interesting. Okay? Timbo Slice says Monday's Memorial Day. You are correct, Timbo. I completely forgot about that. I forgot that Monday was Memorial Day until I saw an ad for it on TV, and I was like, what the hell? Memorial Day used to be an important day for me, not only because it's a national holiday where obviously we remember everyone who has served in the military, but also it used to be the weekend of ECC. That's East Coast Championships, which was a major fighting game tournament on the East Coast of the United States, held in Dunellen, New Jersey at 8 on the Break Arcade. Every year, like clockwork, it was held Memorial Day weekend. And it was a pretty good big staple of my life for a big chunk there in the 2000s. I used to go to this tournament every single year with my friends. So, all right. So then on Tuesday is the big day, everyone. Tuesday, June 1st. All right. To start the month strong, we are going to be doing a marathon of Fallout New Vegas. I'll be starting up the new playthrough of Fallout New Vegas. 7+ hours of gameplay with limited breaks in between, but it'll be a really fun stream, getting a good start, a good tear into the game. Deciding what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do the low intelligence run, the high luck run. I don't know. Got to think about it over the next few days. Like I said, let's talk about it on the streams and try to figure this out. Okay? And that'll be a fun day. It will. I know that's going to be a fun day. I'm excited for that. I hope you guys are excited for that too. Okay? Then, On Wednesday, we're back to regularly scheduled gameplay. It's Mass Effect Legendary Edition returning to the early streams on Wednesday. And then it's going to be new Pokemon Snap on the late stream. Thursday of this coming week will be Returnal Endgame. And the reason I say that is because I'm hoping that between tomorrow and then that Thursday, maybe we'll actually beat the game. Maybe we'll get all the Sun Keys, fight the final boss one last time, and maybe finally see the ending of the game. Okay? Alright. And then, on Friday, Fallout New Vegas will have... Oh, excuse me. Thursday night is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I forgot to say that. You know, I said I would be playing Call of Duty once a week. So it'll be this coming Thursday night. And then Friday of next week, so a week from today, Fallout New Vegas will reach a spot as a major stream, the first stream of the day, and then Street Fighter Throwback stream that night. So a pretty good variety of stuff coming up in the next week. And I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are too. It certainly should be a fun time. And keep in mind, the week after that is when we finally start up with all the gaming news like Summer Games Fest and E3 stuff coming up. Okay? Good stuff, good stuff. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, very briefly, if you like my streams, if you support my content, thank you for being here and chilling with me. If you would like to actually support the stream directly, there are many ways you can do so. First of all, you can tip me. And I'll be honest with everyone, tipping me is the best way to contribute right now. Until I get paid by Twitch, excuse me, I completely misspoke. Until I get paid by YouTube for all the stuff I've been doing on YouTube for the past couple of weeks, including the memberships and super chats that you guys have already contributed, until I get paid by them in late June, the only income I'm getting is from your tips on the live streams. Okay? That's why we have a $200 tips goal every stream. That's why I'm trying to hit it every stream to pay all my bills until finally the YouTube income starts coming in for streaming. Okay? Now, admittedly, it's tight and it's tough and, you know, it's kind of crappy, but once the YouTube income starts coming in from the streaming, I think I'll be okay. But I have to get there, and that's not going to happen until the third week of June. So that's why, if you like the content, please tip, all right, if you can. How do you tip? Well, there's 3 ways. In the description of the video, there is a link. When I say the description of the video, I mean take a look on the YouTube channel page here on DSPGaming. There should be a description there. And in there should be multiple links, but the link to tip should be in there. Okay? Or right now, I am pinning a message to the chat with the link to tip me. Okay? Or you could type !tip into the stream chat and give it a minute, and then the Nightbot should post up the way to tip as well. So there's all these different methods by which you can contribute via tipping, and that's the way to go if you really want to help me out the most right now. Thank you in advance to anyone who contributes via tipping today. Really, I appreciate it, okay? By the way, yesterday, I didn't hit any of the tips goals. I did okay, but I didn't hit the tips goals at all. So I'm hoping to make up for that today and hopefully hit the tips goals today. It's really important that I do so that I can afford all my bills coming up. Just this morning, I paid my federal tax payment for the month. I paid my health insurance, and I wrote out the check to pay my monthly dues here, where I live, which I'm going to mail this week. Coming up in the first week of June, I have a car payment. I have another monthly dues coming up. I have my utility bills in regards to my internet coming up. So there's a lot of stuff coming up that I need to pay within the next 1 to 2 weeks. So please, if you can, and you like the content, please tip me, okay? All right. Now, if you would like to contribute in another way, you absolutely can. You could become a member of the channel, which is essentially the same as subbing on Twitch, where you're going to get certain benefits. For example, you're going to get a chat crown badge next to your name. Your name will turn to green colored in the chat. Also, you'll get access to a bunch of emotes. As of right now, there's 15 emotes that can be used, but the more members we get on the channel, the more emote slots get unlocked. Right now, I think we're at 137 members. If we get that to 150, a new emote slot will be unlocked. You see? So please consider becoming a channel member if you enjoy the content. Okay? Also, you can do a super chat. Now, super chats are the equivalent of cheers over on Twitch. Basically, you get a pop-up message that, you know, you can say whatever you want. I'll give you a shout-out and say thanks, and it contributes to the stream. However, I'm going to ask you this, you know, if you are going to contribute, if you could forego the super chats and tip me, I would prefer the tips. I need the tips right now for the next several weeks. Once we get, like I said, to the third week of June, when I'm going to get paid by YouTube for everything that's been happening over the last couple of weeks, then it'll be a little different. It'll be fine. But we got to get there. Okay? Okay. Lambo, I literally have laid out ways to tip. If you don't understand any of the things I just said, I don't know how I can possibly help you. I literally am holding your hand and telling you how to do it. Sounds like you're trolling. So, I'm going to tell you right now, figure it out or stop spamming the chat with, oh, I can't tip, I can't tip. No one believes you. Okay? All right. So, folks, thank you in advance for any contributions. I really appreciate it. Ask the King was yesterday. For those of you who didn't see it, fun Q&A show. Those videos are now live over on the King of Hate Vlogs on YouTube. Yes, that's right. The King of Hate Vlogs channel still exists. But I only use it for Ask the King and for, like, DSP Tries It. That's it. You can check out that show over there. I answered a lot of questions. In fact, I basically gave my final verdict on Twitch. People wanted a determining statement on my future on Twitch. It's there. So go check it out if you want to know. But as of now, I'm on YouTube. Okay? Now, for the month of June, there will be the return of the monthly members goal. It was used to be called a subs goal on Twitch. Here it's called a members goal. Okay? The goal is to try to drive people to become members of the channel. Because that helps the channel. That helps me. Okay? What will the goal be? I don't know yet. I need your opinions. What would you guys like to see as the next goal? If we hit a certain number of members during the course of June, should we do another marathon of some sort? Should I do some kind of a special event? What would you guys like to see? You know, some ideas would be, number one, the return of the Rageathon. Or maybe the return of an Indies marathon, because I haven't played indie games in a very long time, and it could be a good opportunity to get exposed to a bunch of new games that I haven't played before. Maybe it could be the retro replay, excuse me, not retro replay, the retrospective event returns. Okay? All of these things are possible. So, think about it, and let me know what you want. I will definitely set up a goal for June based on what you guys think you would like, and we'll have a push towards it, okay? Good stuff. All right. Outside of all that, the only other thing I would like to talk about on today's pre-stream is all these digital events that happened in the last 24 hours, okay? So first of all, there was a Dragon Quest event where basically announced that Dragon Quest 12 will be a more adult-oriented game, but that's pretty much all it said. Dragon Quest 3 is going to be remade in a style that plays like Octopath Traveler. Dragon Quest 10, which was an MMO, is going to have 2 new versions coming out. One is going to be an online MMO, and one is an offline version of the game for people who don't want to play it like an MMO. How are you going to have an MMO that doesn't have online play? That's very confusing. I don't know. But anyway, that was cool. Sonic had an event that was pretty much a non-event. In the Sonic event, they announced a new animated series. Big deal. They only had like 40 of those. They announced a Classics collection where it'll be Sonic 1 through 3 plus Knuckles sold digitally for modern consoles. Big deal. We've all played those games a million times. I love them, but still, it's really not news. Sonic Colors is going to have a remake called Sonic Colors, what is it, Unlimited or something like that. It's coming out in September. I'm excited for that because I like Sonic Colors a lot. I'm actually sad they never made like a sequel or anything, although I guess Generations could kind of be like a pseudo-sequel, not a full one. And then they teased a new game, which was funny because they didn't give any information about the game besides showing Sonic running through like a forest or a jungle. And people data mined all over the internet, and they think the name of the game is Sonic Rangers. And no one has really any information on it, but it would be nice if they gave us some concrete info. They didn't. That was the Sonic event, okay? Horizon Forbidden West, 14 minutes of gameplay was put out yesterday. It was amazing. I'm not going to lie. I was impressed. The graphics look outstanding. Now, the game apparently is going to have 2 different graphical modes. One that's only 30 frames per second, but is basically going to show off the power of the PS5. And then there's going to be a performance mode where it aims for high frame rate, although they're not promising 60 frames. They're saying it'll have an increased frame rate. The game is actually cross-platform. PS4 and PS5, which honestly, I was not expecting that. I thought that it was going to be just PS5. But the fact that it's cross-platform, I feel, makes sense, considering there are people who cannot get a PS5. There's people out there who absolutely want one and can't get one because of the shortage. So because of that, obviously they're going to try to sell as many copies as possible, so they're going to sell it on PS4 as well. Okay? So, the gameplay looks good. Looks like they've added several new gameplay elements, which I'm not going to get into massive detail about here, but looks fun. And I think it takes place in San Francisco. At least a part of the game takes place in San Francisco, which is cool because we're going to actually see landmarks in the game from real-life San Francisco, California, which is actually what I felt was something that was a little bit lacking in the first game, Horizon Zero Dawn. You didn't really have any direct connection of where you were in the game. You knew you were supposedly on Earth, but you didn't know where or, you know, when. Now we know. It's far in the future. Here's this giant bridge that's falling apart. That's a big landmark in San Francisco. You know, that's kind of cool. So, good stuff. It looks great. I'm excited for it. No release date. No release date. Who would want a release date for one of the biggest releases coming up in the next few years? No one cares about that, right? Anyway. Dying Light 2. Finally coming out. After like 14 years in game development, it's finally coming out. It looks interesting, although admittedly, it's been so long since Dying Light 1. I don't really even remember much about it, being honest with you. I hope it's good. It's coming out in December. You know, that's really all I have to say about it because it's been so long in development that you can't really judge. Okay? And then finally, today, this morning, there was an event for Far Cry 6. Alright? Now, it's funny because I see a lot of people talking about it on the internet, and they're like, man, it kind of looks the same as the other Far Cries, which I'm like, yeah, Far Cry actually hasn't really changed since Far Cry 3. Like that, Far Cry 3 is like the epitome of the series. You had Voss, the enemy, who is like the antagonist, and he was like a crazy antagonist. You had these crazy hallucinations and shit that were going on. The gameplay really opened up in Far Cry 3 to be open world, hunting, climbing the towers, killing people at the bases, etc. If you take a look at every Far Cry game since then, they've been the same formula. There's variations to them. Like, I would argue Far Cry 5 had some pretty good variations with vehicles and stuff, right? That was good. But in essence, they're all kind of the same open world formula. Some people are criticizing the look, saying the game doesn't look very good. They're like, man, why do the graphics kind of look like, you know, outdated? The character models don't look very good. I don't know. I like the Far Cry games, although admittedly, I felt that they were coming out too quickly. Like Far Cry 4 and then 5, and then there was an expansion for 5 I didn't even bother playing. All kind of felt like you were playing exactly the same game. The plots were dramatically different, but the gameplay felt the same. So I wonder what's going to happen. This is, by the way, Far Cry 6 coming out in October 7th, I believe. Finally has a release date. So we've got the Skyward Sword remake in July. We've got the Sonic Colors remake in September. We got Judgment 2 coming out in September. We got Far Cry 6 in October, right? And then we got Dying Light in December. So we're starting to get a little bit of perspective on game releases for the rest of the year. This is what we were waiting for because of COVID, everything gets screwed up. Now we don't have game release times anymore until like the last minute. So now finally, we're getting some information on these games. And I suspect in the next couple of weeks, especially with Summer Games Fest and the E3 digital events, that we're going to get a lot more info coming soon about all this stuff. Okay? Okay. So, that's really all I got. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's really happened that I want to talk about. Not in particular. Nothing's like jumping into mind. So, let's do some quick shout outs here. Our first contribution of the day came in from Tarantula MS 2018, who did a $5 tip. I said, hey, Phil, says New Vegas 1, have you considered my idea of doing an evil or dumb playthrough? Thanks. Yeah, I mean, basically what I want to do is I want to figure out something interesting to do for the playthrough. I don't just want to go through using regular gunplay and whatever. I want to do some kind of a gimmick run, but I don't know what yet. And I don't know what's going to be the best idea. I'm almost positive that when I played it in 2015, that I did a melee build. Because people were saying it's actually viable in New Vegas. It wasn't viable in Fallout 3. but it was viable in New Vegas. One recommendation that I got, all right, was to do a explosives run. Like, make a build where the person is, like, immune to their own explosive damage, but also does, like, double, triple damage with explosions, and have them just tossing grenades around and using rocket launchers and the like. See, I like the idea, but here's the problem with that. Sadly, I don't think the game gives you enough explosive ammo to make that viable. Like, I think that explosive ammo is kind of, like, scarce, you know? And how would I be fighting through waves of enemies and shit in certain areas when I don't have enough ammo to do it, right? I think that, sadly, that it's probably not a realistic build. I mean, yes, you could do it, but you would have to have backup weapons and stuff so that when you run out of ammo, right, you can at least get through areas till you can find more ammo. I would like to do an explosive run, actually. I would, but I don't know how I would make it viable, especially early game. You're not going to find a ton of explosives early game. So, yeah, I'm open to suggestions. If there's a way to do it, I'd like to maybe do that. Right? That sounds pretty good. So that's one suggestion. You know, low IQ is another suggestion. Go completely evil is another suggestion. Right? All these different suggestions. So yes, I'm open to suggestions for the run, starting on Tuesday. Okay? Okay. Tim will slice to me $1.30 and says, I don't care what anyone says. The Fallout New Vegas is the best action RPG known to man. Wow. Known to man. I don't know if it's the best action RPG ever. I certainly think it's a great game. And of all the... If anything, it's a testament that of all the Fallout games, people want to see me replay it the most, right? Like, remember, for this retro replay event, games like Fallout 3, Fallout 4, you know, those were eligible too. And I've only played Fallout 4 once, yet people wanted Fallout New Vegas, which I've already played like 2 to 3 times before. It's a testament to the greatness of the game and its longevity, right? Okay. So, I got a couple tips here from Only Eyes Coffee. First one, he says, hey man, I want to say I love the new pre-stream artwork. My favorites are the chill late night gameplay with the car, the throwback Street Fighter Fridays, and the Fallout New Vegas slides. I also have a few questions for you. Cool. So he tipped again, he says, with the upcoming marathon of Fallout New Vegas, you plan on doing a DSP tries at Chef Boyardee because it was the tier 3 sub goal way back in April. I mean, if you guys really want that, I can do it. I do have the can of Chef Boyardee, and it actually wouldn't be hard to do. I would just warm it up and toss it in a little bowl or something and try it. If you really want me to, I'm not opposed to it. It could be a little quick thing to do during the event. We could pretend like we're actually in the future world, and the only food left in the wasteland is Chef Boyardee. We found a can of Chef Boyardee from like 20 years ago and warmed it up and tried to eat it to survive, right? Yeah, if you want that, I'll do it. I'm okay with that. I have it. I was looking through my pantry last night, and I said, what's this? Oh, it's that can of Chef Boyardee I bought like a month ago. So I have it. Okay. All right. So he tipped again. He says, do you plan on playing Divinity Original Sin 2? I noticed you haven't been playing it this week, and it doesn't seem to be on the schedule. Yeah, I am playing it. The thing is, I need to get through enough of these new releases that I've been playing to get back to it. As I've said, sadly, this game, which I didn't know how it was going to pan out as a playthrough when I started playing it. I just knew it was an incredibly long game. All right. Divinity 2 is a game that, sadly, is not great for the kind of content that I put out. Okay? It's way too time consuming. It's insanely slow paced. You're talking somewhere upwards of a half an hour per fight. Okay? Every fight is tedious. Every fight needs like painstaking preparation and or just flubbing through it multiple times until you finally fucking win. Alright? And I'll be honest with you. I like the plot of the game, but the plot never advances. We've been outside of the intro segment of the game now for about, I want to argue, between 15 to 20 hours. And pretty much made zero progress in the game. The story just doesn't move. It's like a snail. Alright? If you're someone who loves role-playing RPGs and you're going to play this game exclusively for a couple of months maybe, you'll probably think it's like the best game ever. But for someone like me who's a variety content creator, it just doesn't really work. I would have to play this game so much in a week to make progress. So, playing it once a week, 2 hours, I'm making no progress. And there's just too many interesting games out there that I'm focusing on to care about it. Divinity was always going to be what's considered a downtime playthrough. A playthrough that I play when I have time. Not in the midst of 100 new releases that I'm juggling and everything. It's always going to be the back burner game. Now, when things slow down, because undoubtedly they will. Things will end up slowing down, especially during the summer months. Usually there's not nonstop new releases. Likely, I'll bring back Divinity 2 as a main gameplay stream. In fact, I was thinking of doing that this week, but then I realized, oh shit, we got the Retro Replay event that I'm doing. So it kind of got pushed, or bumped, or whatever you want to say. Okay? Divinity 2 will absolutely continue. I have not, canceled the playthrough. It's just the least interesting game to me right now. I am committed to playing it more. I am playing it more, just whenever I get to it. Right now, my focus is trying to finish the things I'm working on. End game of Nier Replicant, beating it within the next couple of streams. End game of Returnal, beating it within the next couple of streams. You see, once we get past that stuff, then maybe I can have Divinity come back in a big way. But it's just gotta wait. It's a boring ass fucking game, and it's way too long and drawn out. It's not very good for my style of content. It's not saying it. By the way, none of that is saying it's a bad game. I do feel it's a good game. It's just, people, when they're picking games for me to play, should be thinking about this kind of stuff. Well, Phil's a variety content creator. He pretty much only plays a game once or twice a week. This game's like 400 hours long. Maybe it's not the best game for Phil to play. I'm just saying, but people just keep picking stuff like that. I don't know what to tell you. Pointman says Baldur's Gate 3 actually is way more streamlined in terms of both narrative and gameplay, so don't let Divinity Original Sin 2 sway you from playing that. Yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, it seems to me like Divinity is the kind of game you need to commit so much time to it to really make progress and enjoy it and appreciate it. Playing it once a week, twice a week doesn't fly. It's just boring. It is what it is. Darius has tipped me $15 and says, long-time viewer since 2012. I was 15, now I'm 24. Keep doing your thing, Daddy. All right, well, Darius, thank you. Kind words from Darius, and it's good to hear that there are people who have been following me along so long and are still supporting the content and still enjoying it, right? Thank you for that. Let's see here. Alvaro Ponte's to me $1.30. He says, true Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas are gaming gems and classics. Very nice. Yeah, I love them. I think the games are great. Only Ice Coffee has tipped me another $1.30 and says, as for the members goal for the month of June, I'm thinking maybe 200, 225, or 250 to start things off. Your very first members goal for the month of June. Yeah, I definitely don't want to be ridiculously unrealistic. We were just talking about this, actually, I think it was last night on the Mass Effect stream. And people were like, well, what's realistic for June? And I said, well, you got to think of two factors. The first factor is, what did I actually have as legitimate subscribers over on Twitch? How many people were legitimately subbed and how many were gift subs, right? And I argued, I would think likely I had anywhere from 150 to 300 gifted subs every month on Twitch. There was that many. I know there were that many. So if you think, oh, okay, Phil had 900 subs over there, right? Probably maybe 500 to 600 were legitimate people who came to the streams and subbed themselves. And then there was, a bunch of gifted ones, okay? But there's another factor we have to think about. A lot of people over on Twitch use Prime subs, meaning they're already subscribers to Twitch Prime / Amazon Prime, and they get a free subscription as a part of that, and then they put that towards someone. And I know for a fact I was getting a big chunk of Prime subs, probably 100 to 200 Prime subs a month. Those are just gone, all right? And I have to kind of accept that those subscriptions are never going to come back. There's no Prime membership on YouTube, you see? So if you really do the math, I had 900 subs on Twitch. Let's argue 300 of those were gifted. So now I have 600 legit subs. Oops, overnight I lost 200 subs because there's no more Prime. So now we're down to like 400, right? Now, on top of that, YouTube is a new venture. YouTube is a new streaming service for me. I'm trying to work out the bugs. I'm trying to get stuff working. But admittedly, there's going to be people who are going to be apprehensive about coming over here. There's going to be people who are like, I really liked Phil's content on Twitch and I subbed over there. But man, that YouTube chat is a cesspool and I don't want to sub now. And I get that. I can't make people support in a way where they feel like they're not going to get anything out of it. Maybe they felt over on Twitch the fact that there were so many emotes, right? We had 40 emotes over on Twitch, right? There's a lot of benefits on Twitch of being a sub. Here on YouTube, you get your chat crown, you get a few emotes. I mean, that's about it. And there's not much I could do about that, right? So, I don't want to be ridiculous. I don't want to be seeming like I'm going crazy and demanding so much. What I would say is right now we have 137 subs, right? Over the month of June, with the new releases coming out, with the fact that I'll be covering the new E3 content, the new Summer Games Fest content, the retro replay of Fallout New Vegas, that's going to probably bring some people to the channel because they want to see some cool retro stuff. I feel like there is potential to definitely double that. I feel that, like we can. Now, I wouldn't want that to be like the first one. Maybe like, as Only Ice Coffee is suggesting, maybe the tier 1 reward, whatever it may be, happens around 200 or 225 memberships. I think we could definitely gain 100 memberships in a month. I don't see why not. I have, on average, 300 to 400 people on every stream. And that give or take that varies. You know, night streams, there's a lot less. But with that many people regularly watching, I feel we can get 200 subs on this channel. Okay? So we'll see. I'm going to think about it. But I really feel that that it's feasible to expect that maybe over the course of June we can get another 100 people subscribing. Okay? Alright. Sean has tipped me $3. Says, do you prefer Mass Effect 1 over Mass Effect 2 or vice versa? I love the story of 1. In Mass Effect 1, you're getting this lore building and this universe building aspect of it. The story itself in Mass Effect 1 is incredibly well written and keeps you at the edge of your seat. The characters are really interesting, especially when you start to learn their backstories and the like. Okay? Mass Effect 2, the main storyline sucks ass. The main storyline of Mass Effect 2 feels like a filler story because it is. It's the middle chapter of a trilogy, and you could tell they just tacked it on. The actual good thing about Mass Effect 2 are all the new characters that are added to the game and all of their stories and loyalty missions. Those are actually far better than the main storyline of Mass Effect 2. So story-wise, Mass Effect 1 is better. But Mass Effect 2 streamlined a lot of stuff, added in a ton of new characters and world building. So overall, I feel Mass Effect 2 is a better game. But Mass Effect 1, if you're really into like RPG lore and stuff, like Mass Effect 1 was a really cool universe building venture. Okay? So, Mass Effect 3, I mean, we all know how people feel about Mass Effect 3. I personally enjoyed it, but obviously I acknowledge why people were disappointed with the way that it all ended. I still think it's a good game, and I'm actually looking forward to playing it again once I beat Mass Effect 1 Legendary Edition. I am looking forward to playing Mass Effect 3 a second time. But I prefer, if you're asking my personal preference, I do like Mass Effect 1 over Mass Effect 2, but I will acknowledge that Mass Effect 2 had enough improvements that you could say it's the better game. Mass Effect 2 had almost no bugs. Like, Mass Effect 1 is full of bugs and issues. Mass Effect 2 had, like, none. So, much more polished game. Okay, Only Ice Coffee tipped another $1.30. And he says, speaking of Prime subs and people not wanting to switch over because of trolls of the chat or whatever, I haven't seen Jim Bomb in ages. And yeah, see, here's the thing. I've now been streaming on YouTube for roughly 2 weeks. Okay, I think as of tomorrow would actually formally mark the 2-week milestone, per se, of me streaming on YouTube. And admittedly, it's been rough around the edges. I guess that's the best way to describe it, right? But in general, I've noticed quite a lot of regulars have come over from Twitch. A lot of regulars are already over here, and a lot of them have already become members, which is really cool. And I appreciate that. Any of you who are just like me, adapting to this new service, adapting to this new site, I appreciate that. I hope you see that I am doing my best to try to adjust things. By the way, I also forgot to mention this. I fixed Nightbot. Nightbot was being way too strict with the stream chat. I've now made it so Nightbot's settings are the same that they were on Twitch. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I typed a sentence in capital letters and I got timed out for 10 minutes, or I posted 5-6 emotes and I got timed out. I fixed all that. Sorry about that because it was on its default shit, and the default stuff was very strict. So I seemed to have gotten that fixed. Okay. But yeah, it's basically, it's funny because you would say it's growing pains, but in reality it's not. It's just kind of it's not that it's growing pains, it's shifting. It's like moving, right? It's like a cross-country move where you have to move all your shit from one place to the other. You got to get everything in place and working properly again, and it takes a while. I would guess I probably won't hit my stride here on YouTube for another month. You know, maybe over the month of June with all the cool stuff that's going to be happening in the gaming world in June. Maybe by the end of June, we'll actually feel like we're at home here, right? But for now, yeah, for now it's tough. For now, it's like, I get it. There's some regulars who still haven't come over, which sucks because obviously I want them to come over. And I pretty much made it as clear as humanly possible yesterday that I'm not going back to Twitch. I just don't appreciate the way that they treat me or treated me in the last month and a half. It's like a total flippant attitude from them. Basically saying that, you know, they don't give two craps about me or my life or my business or my family with the way that they treated me. So I don't care about them and I don't want to be there. I think that it's a toxic fucking place, especially with the way that they're going with their hot tub streams. So I would rather do my own thing. And by the way, there's going to be long-term benefits of being here on YouTube. Having all of my content in one spot. The streams on YouTube, I'm actually getting views and ad revenue on. I'm not saying it's anything significant. It's not. But still, over time, we could actually see growth. There's potential. With me being on YouTube exclusively now, I may actually have this channel hit a subs milestone. We may actually hit 200,000 subs this year. That would be pretty crazy because it's been stagnant for about 5 years. To actually hit 200,000 subs would be like, oh my god, I finally fucking did it after how many years, right? So, I guess we'll see what happens. All right? But, yeah, it sucks to not see everyone come over. I agree with you. Jim Bob was one of the people who was always a regular on the Twitch streams. You would hope eventually he will come over to the streams. I hope. Because I think we all miss him, right? He was a regular. He was someone who was a positive influence and a positive contributor every day, right? Suck a Surprise says, maybe try and appeal and say something like, Jim Bob, we all miss you over here on YouTube and you gotta come by sometime. Alright, let's see. Hold on a second. So hold on. What's this? Get rid of that. What's this here? Get rid of that. What's this? What's that? Do we need that? Not really. What's this? Get rid of that. Okay, now we do that here. Oh shit, I misclicked. Hold on. I click on this. And we do this. Right? Okay. Excuse me. I had to click off because I was about to burp. Okay. Jim Bob, we all miss you over here on YouTube, man. We all want you to come over and hang out with us again. Please, Jim Bob, come on over. We miss you. Okay. Actually, that's not centered, is it? Oh, what did I do now? I misclicked. Oh, shit. Where's the web? Okay, that's better, right? All right. Boy, I'm ugly. Jesus, I'm ugly. I'm worse than Thanos, man. Holy fuck, look at my face. Anyway. Daddy Zayety says, am I planning on getting Guilty Gear Strive? I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I am on the fence about it. I'm debating getting it. It's something that I think would add variety to the content for June. At the same time, Virtua Fighter 5 is coming out in a few days. That new Virtua Fighter game that they remade with a Yakuza graphics engine. And some people have said I should play that. And if I play that, then I'm not playing Guilty Gear. It's one or the other. It's kind of like, if I'm going to take up a new fighting game, I'll play one or the other. I'm not going to play both, you know? And the thing is, either one is a new territory for me. I've never played either Virtua Fighter or Guilty Gear more than just a casual game here or there. I don't even know the basic gameplay mechanics. Okay? So, the way I see it is one or the other. And I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens this month. This week, I'm pretty much already booked. But maybe if people want to see me try Virtua Fighter 5, I could do that. Or if you want to see me do Guilty Gear Strive later in the month, we can do that. But there's no way I can do both, man. Okay. Okay. Anything else, guys? Any other questions? Anything else you want to talk about? Or can I briefly go on my break here? Hello, Adam Outlaw. Good to see you today. All right, here's what we'll do. Brief break for me to use the restroom. All right, when I come back, it shall be Nier Replicant End Game. We're going to run through the Shadow Lord's Castle, get to the D ending, which I don't know what the D ending is because I didn't do it before, so I hope there's some people here who can help me to do the D ending properly so that then we can start the E run and see as far as we can get today with the E run and go from there and have some fun with Nier, man. We're heading into this is it. Finally, we're going to see the alternate endings after all this time. All right? All right, brief break, then I'll be back, and we shall be playing Nier Replicant. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in just a little bit.